Hey.
Sun kissed from his trip to the islands. Wearing dude, the suit's nice.
Thank you.
Is this going to be the wedding suit?
No.
What are you doing for the wedding?
That's a great question.
Have you guys had that?
No, we're good. I've actually, when we finish the show, I've got to go to the seamstress around the corner next to the old Spud Nuts and pick up the suit because the one I ordered.
No, because you lost 20 pounds. Is what you're going to say. You lost a lot of weight. Is that what you're going to say?
No, it was the other way. I went the other way.
You've been riding the bicycle.
I know that. I don't know what's going on. I'm riding bicycles. I'm swimming.
It might be all that French food.
Yeah, something like that.
I hear the French food's pretty rich.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think the reality and the stress of a wedding that's about ready to happen on Saturday is kind of sinking in. We've got a whole family coming in today and tomorrow, and so I've got my to-do lists are growing from my oldest daughter Yasmina and youngest daughter, and kind of got, well, I can't believe you're doing a show on Friday and the wedding's on Saturday. And I go, what do I got to do? I just got to show up.
And you can do that well.
I show up better than anybody.
You're the best shower-upper in the book.
I'm the best shower-upper that I know. I can show up. I wrote my speech.
Oh, dude, I bet you're going to kill it with the speech.
Well, I don't know about that.
Now, here's the tough part. We'll start the show soon, guys. Real talk. Keith Smith, our executive producer, back in the saddle. You know we love this dude tremendously. His youngest daughter is getting married Saturday in Central Virginia?
Yeah, Moss Vineyard.
Okay. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's super great.
Barry Moss's spot.
Yeah, if you have not been out to Moss Vineyard, go take a trip out there. It's a great little vineyard, and it's interesting. An architect. I think he's still an architect.
Yeah, he's an architect. He designed that.
He designed everything and did it. It was really good.
Judah, you remember Barry Moss, right? No. We did some business with him, J-Dubs.
And we just got up away from the mics, guys.
We both had to. We're on island time over here.
Yeah, I'm sweating and somebody else was eyeing up the rum that I brought in.
Give the show a like and a share anywhere you guys are watching. We'll get started on Real Talk here in a matter of moments. Our buddy Keith Smith in the house. We are pumped, if you can't tell, that Keith Smith is in the house. This man, as A-plus people, Yes Team Realtors and Yes Realty Partners, trusted names in the game. We're going to have a lot of fun on a gorgeous day to be alive.
You know, what was it? I was walking down the downtown mall yesterday after the show, so thank you for bringing me in yesterday for half an hour. That was a lot of fun. Not just, being me. It was actually, it was a homeless gentleman. I said, how you doing, man? Can I buy you a cup of coffee or whatever? And he goes, man, this is a great day to be alive. I said, dude.
That's perspective.
That's the right perspective.
Right. Any day above the mud.
Any day above ground's a good day.
Any comments that you want to get on the feed, let us know. Smith, how about a tease before we start the show of what we're going to cover?
Yeah, so I didn't, I was just planning a little bit of Batman and Robin, and yesterday, for those who are not used to the show, that's what I refer to my partner in crime across the table from me as Robin.
And let's not forget
Liza.
The Bat Dog.
Bat Dog, and then Alfred.
And Alfred, right.
Well, we got to do something different for October. I got a whole plan coming up for that.
Was the Stooges?
I think I might have changed that on you. You just don't know about it yet.
Okay.
But we were having a great conversation yesterday about Gordonsville.
We were. And
love to pick that back up. I think there was a couple of questions in the feed.
That
maybe we can track back up and talk about it and see if some of the folks can watch and chime in. I ran some quick stats on numbers for the town of Gordonsville from a real estate perspective, and just have a lot of fun. I know the panel discussions are awesome. That people just love them. But the things I really enjoy is this.
Right.
I really enjoy these.
Same. Give the show a like and a share. We'll get started. I'm going to tag the Gordonsville Economic Development Office on the feed.
Is it Gordonsville or is it Orange?
So Orange County. You're right. It's Orange County. We're going to tag them on the feed so they know we're singing their praises. We're live on every social media platform possible. J-Dubs. Let's rock and roll. Good Tuesday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to Real Talk, an insider's guide to real estate, life, and the pursuit of happiness, presented by Yes Realty Partners and the Yes Team Realtors. We're live across Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love Seaville network, and it's damn glad to be with you on a gorgeous Tuesday to be alive. My friend Keith Smith back in the saddle after 2 weeks in the islands. This gentleman, kissed by the Caribbean sun.
What does that mean, actually?
It means you got a suntan.
There you go.
Sun-kissed.
Appreciate it.
Sun-kissed.
Okay.
And looking dapper as
Okay.
he heads into his youngest daughter's wedding on Saturday.
Yeah, and actually, as you were doing the intro, I'm getting marching orders from my oldest daughter.
And what are those marching orders?
Something I got to go pick up something from Trader Joe's for the cake. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. And that's it. And on the way in, I needed to call a couple of people on Thursday and Friday they made appointments with. I said, I think I need to push these appointments.
Till next week.
Next week.
So is your oldest daughter the maid of honor?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So it's truly a family affair.
Oh, yeah. They do. Matter of fact, I'm going to invite you and your family and Judah and Liza the dog. Oh, yeah. I guess the whole world's going to hear this. But on Sunday at Brazo, we're doing like a open ticket. You and your family come by 10 to 3 at Brazo and feed some tacos to little...
If you have any questions, the office is right around the corner.
I didn't even think of that.
Yes,
but
you
I didn't even think of that.
man. Yes, you
Look at this. Like, no wonder why we've hired you to manage our marketing.
The office is right around the corner, always be closing. And evidently the father of the bride cannot say no on his bride's wedding day. I think I learned that from The Godfather. Isn't that not right?
I cannot refuse any request.
Isn't that what it is?
Well, that's the Italian tradition. So.
Right. So The Godfather.
So as you can tell, you're not invited to the wedding. And Sunday doesn't count. That's after the wedding, so I don't want any requests on Sunday. And I purposely did not invite you to the wedding because I would probably get a request that I could.
What would my request be?
Who the hell? With you, who the hell knows?
With you, who the hell knows? Let's make sure we get Rose Deal in the mix from the Orange County Economic Development Office. In fact, I'm going to tag her right now. Rose Deal. We're going to be talking some Orange County today on the show, some Gordonsville. Yeah,
well, I mean, we did it for half an hour yesterday, and thanks again for calling me, bringing me in. That was a lot of fun, unscripted, and just had a lot of fun on it. But we started off talking about the Ice House and all the great stuff that's going on in Gordonsville, and so if you haven't had an opportunity, if you're not going to a wedding this weekend or coming to Brazo for free tacos, head out to Gordonsville. There's just this unbelievable plethora, huh?
Plethora. Well played.
Thank you. Of things to do, right? So you've got, just off the top of my head, we got our good buddy Neil Williams' restaurant, Well Hung. And
Neil's going to be on Friday's show.
Him and Sean are going to come. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening today, right? The primary.
Yeah.
And then, you've got the Ice House. There used to be, and somebody can help me out with this, we've eaten several times there, these really good French restaurant in there, and we haven't eaten there in a couple of years.
Quentin Beckham wants to know if text messages count for favors on the wedding day. And that'll get you in trouble, Quentin.
Is Quentin Beckham watching?
He's watching. He just put a question on the feed.
I think he's supposed to be heading up to D.C. for a meeting. So.
Are you watching in the car, Quentin Beckham?
Mr. Beckham, get to work.
He says, do text messages count for favors?
We'll have to replay the Godfather. Pretty sure they weren't text messages.
I don't think they were texting at the Godfather, but Quentin, that's a hell of a question right there, my friend.
Mr. Beckham, any request of yours, consider it done.
And Quentin Beckham, we'll give you some props on a job well done.
Man, that was a great show.
Which one was your favorite?
The round table, where we were talking about investment, and anybody can do that. It was super motivating. And so we actually, it re-sparked the conversation between Yona and I about getting back into we used to own a bunch of investment properties pre implosion, for lack of a better term, and we're probably going to get back into that.
Would you do an investment property in Gordonsville?
Man, that's literally what I was looking at this morning. I was looking at opportunities. I was looking at what's available, which is not much. There's seven homes available. The median sales price is $215. Been on the market quite a few days. You're looking at a median of 64 days, but there's a couple of neat properties out there. Actually, one of our compatriots at Keller Williams Alliance, Tom Woolfolk, has a property out there.
Love Tom Woolfolk, former car president.
Absolutely, yeah, and on Gordon Avenue, which I'm going to take a little bit of look into on it. But it kind of spurred on the conversation that we were talking about. Where are the nexts, right? And we've been talking about this for quite some time, for years, literally. Right, 2.5 years. How many years we've been doing this? 2 something.
2+.
And we've always talked about. I've always been high on watch whatever somebody say something now, particularly Beckham. High on Zion's Crossroads, right?
Yeah. Zion's Crossroads is a hot spot.
It is a hot spot, and
once you see a Walmart and a Lowe's go in, you know it's going to be a hot spot.
Well, more importantly, and when you see, I think it was 10 years ago, when VDOT invests in putting this divergent diamond interchange in there, which is a pretty cutting edge thing.
Didn't you have something to do with that? A little bit.
A little bit to do with that. Yep. Had a little bit. I helped grease the wheels a little bit on that, and but the intent on that was to carry the same amount of vehicles as the traditional 4-leaf clover, but it has a much smaller footprint in it. So everybody's head was freaking out when it started, but nobody's having a problem with it now.
So Andre Xavier, Patch Brewing Company,
said
Gordonsville, potentially the next Stanton. I'm going to say, I said yesterday, the streets off of downtown Gordonsville made me nostalgic of what Belmont was before it was Belmont when I moved in there. You have some numbers to back up these statements today.
I do, but it's pretty. And I printed a copy for you. It's pretty interesting. So at the moment in Gordonsville, so these were numbers from January 1 to today.
Give a shout out to your friend Christopher Eagle, who's watching.
Hey, Christopher Eagle, how are
you?
We
love you, see Eagle.
Had a meeting with him on Monday.
One of the good guys in the game.
Man, I'll tell you what. I wish I had my trash together as well as he does at his age. The guy's a pretty sharp dude. Calm, never seen him get worked up.
Sharply dressed.
Great
haircut, see Eagle?
Yeah.
Come on, now.
Yeah. Sharp. We tease each other a little bit in the office.
Who's the sharpest dressed guy in the Yes Realty Partners office?
It would be Christopher.
There you go, Chris Eagle. You hear that?
It would be Christopher. So there's 7 units currently active. So this is just in the confines or the jurisdictional footprint of Gordonsville. It's not into Orange or anything like that. There's 7. Pending, there's 11. But and then sold, there was 11, and the median sales price was $242, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,600 square feet, 21 days on market. But I ran 2,000, and hold on a second, I apologize. I've got the wrong page. I made a mistake. So for 2021, it's 290. My apologies, folks. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,000 square feet, 7 days on market. In 2020, there was 11. So we're doing 17 in 2021. Median sales price is $290. This is all single family attached. In the same time in 2020, it was $242 on that on the sale. 21 days on market. But I also ran, just for the hell of it, because I had a great conversation with Greg Slater the other day, thanking him for filling in for me. And, he's doing something that's probably pretty smart on the numbers. He's more looking at the 19 numbers than the 20 numbers, right? But it's interesting. In 19, we sold more units in Gordonsville, 21 units. So we went from 17 to 11 to 21. Median sales price was $235. And I went back to 18, which was 30. So back in 2018, there was 30 units sold in Gordonsville at the price of $220. So we went from in 18 at $220 is a median, 235. So we went up about $5,000 in 2019. 2020 we jumped from 235 to 242, and then right now we're currently sitting at 290. So the market out there has been humming along for a couple of years. And I don't think a lot of people have been eyeballing it, except for what we're doing right now.
Well, Jamie Turner's watching. Jamie Turner, correct me if I'm wrong. Orange County's one of Orange County's finest. Jamie Turner. One of Woodbury Forest's finest. Jamie Turner, correct me if I'm wrong there, Jamie.
Woodbury Forest.
He shares a link from the Daily Progress, and it was an article highlighting what PBM and Stony Point and Chris Henry and Paul Manning want to do. He highlights a 20 to 25 room boutique hotel with a few other attractions in downtown Gordonsville. I ran into Chris at the Ice House, and he was excited about the boutique hotel across from the Ice House that they have planned, and genuinely said, I can't wait to revitalize this area. He talked about the Ice House. The Ice House was the headquarters, the office for Paul's business. So when he was there looking around the business, you could tell his heart and soul was committed to it.
Well, he's one of the good ones. He's I think the world of Chris and his operation. But you know, this revitalization, this is where we're at now with Gordonsville. This has been decades in the making by Mr. Manning in particular. This has been quite a long time in the making. This all just didn't happen overnight. And you know, one of the things we talked about yesterday, I think the things that'll make this a super success and the revitalization of it is the crossroads, right? It's a 15. You get to 3 to go ahead and get yourself to Fredericksburg, or you want to go to Richmond. But something I thought about this morning, which was really, you know, off the cuff. We take the train. We talked about this yesterday off air. We take the train. We go up to visit our oldest daughter in Connecticut. And the train goes right through. The Amtrak train goes right through. Wouldn't that be really cool if there was a stop there?
Man, now you're talking my language.
If there was a stop, just imagine if there was a stop there that you could maybe hop in a train and you could go from there to Charlottesville, right? Excuse me, or up to D.C. But there is an actual old train station right. I think it's right behind. And if Neil's watching, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. It's either right behind Well Hung or right behind the Barbecue Exchange. But man, wouldn't that be really cool? That, you know, and we're kind of going back to old school, which is kind of where I think we should be going anyway.
Yeah.
And hop on a train. But I see nothing but super success down the road. I think COVID has just extrapolated this. If you don't think my personal business wheels are turning, and so are yours, because I know my chemistry is connected enough to know that. You know,
I said, sweetheart, let's take it. We're a little early for our lunch here. Let's take a drive around these side streets and just take a look.
Oh,
by now she knows.
That was a plan.
By now she knows. See, Eagle's watching. Christopher Eagle, thank you, Keith. Thanks for the compliments. Appreciate all of that. It's easy when I learn from a guy like you and from Jonas Smith, Christopher Eagle.
Yeah.
Yes, Realty Partners, baby.
Yeah, we had our little sit down with all our agents yesterday just to see how they were doing and checking in and stuff like that. And he's a sharp dude. I wish at his age I could listen as well as he listens.
How about at your age? If you're gonna,
I do not. I suck at listening.
Jamie Turner says, if you drive right past the backside of the Ice House, there are a few houses in bad shape that could be an opportunity for investors. I saw those. They needed some TLC, and that's saying it nicely, right, Jamie? You could use the word perhaps dilapidated, some of these homes over there. And they are a hop, skip, and a jump from downtown.
So I'm going to make this even more difficult on you.
Please.
When I did the research, you know what I found a lot available for sale?
What?
Land.
Lots. A lot of land?
Lots.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I did a search, a global. I usually do a global search and see what everything spits out, right? And it includes land and residential and stuff like that. And very rarely right? You do a Charlottesville search, you don't see a lot of lots come up. There's quite a few lots available for sale out there, and I haven't had a chance to dig into them in any great depth. Like, in other words, do they have water and sewer, and what's their utility situation, and so forth and so on, the sizes and all that. But, there's some lots in the 20s and the 30s there.
20 and 30K
Yeah.
for the dirt.
Yeah.
Dang.
Right? So just think that same kind of lot in Charlottesville.
I mean, you're talking what? 200. I mean, just a lot close to downtown. You're talking more than that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, you're talking a lot close to downtown. You're probably talking closer to 3.
Yeah.
And you're saying 20 to 30K.
Yep.
Let's say 20, 30K, and you put a house that's, you know what I would do? I learned from you.
There's a large piece of property that's already approved for a subdivision inside the town.
Oh, Mrs. Smith is watching.
Oh, no, there's not one in there.
Mrs. Smith is watching. How about one of those 20 to 30K lots? What would you do to truly optimize that? Maybe a duplex?
Well, I have to dig into them. I'm assuming they're all SFD, single-family detached.
Got it.
All right, I'm assuming that. But look, the rule of thumb, before I say the rule of thumb right now, that this rule...
What's up, Susan Steinmart?
Susan Steinmart.
I love Susan Steinmart. She has a question for you, but finish your thought.
Yeah. So, she's probably saying, how come the land trust should go out there and buy some lots and build
She says with land, you can build to environmental standards.
Yeah, correct. But get
a little Pearl certification in there?
Pearl certification, rock and roll. But the problem was with the cost of materials and labor shortages right now, it's a little difficult. But the rule of thumb has always been somewhere between 4 to 6 to 1. So if you spend, $50,000 on a lot,
4 to 6 to 1 is the rule of thumb?
Yeah, it's a rule of thumb.
So
yeah.
you're talking about 30K, you're talking 180K home?
Yeah, the problem with that is then you got to add the 30K to that, right? And then
so 210 at that point?
Yeah, you probably looking at about a 250, 275 sale price out there.
Okay.
New construction.
And then what are we talking all in for something like that?
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual retail sales price, probably around 250, 275.
And your cost is?
I haven't done the math yet.
But back of the napkin.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. The rule of thumb is generally 4 to 6 to 1 over the cost of the lot. That's your all in, and then the sales price. Then you have to put your soft costs in it. What you have to pay for
realtors, closing costs,
finance expenses,
some marketing material,
blah 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 blah. And the rule of thumb is somewhere between 5 to 10%.
So what you're basically telling me is you can do...
I would build them for rent, though.
You could do brand new single family. If you wanted to sell brand new single family all day, every day, under 3.
You could do that.
Under 3, walking distance of downtown Gordonsville.
You could do that.
Alternatively, you can do maybe a side-by-side.
Yeah.
With each side getting $1,250 a pop.
I'd have to figure out...
$2,500 total.
You're talking about rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to do.
Yeah. My buy and hold wheels were turning.
Yeah.
On that. So, but yeah. So it shocked me. I did not expect to see land, and it really shocked me when I saw the development opportunity out there.
Jamie Turner, Orange County's finest, Woodbury Forest's finest. The man works in finance now. Don't you work in finance, Jamie Turner? I believe you do, as a consultant of some kind. Jamie Turner, we've never met, but I feel like I know you through this show. He says there is an investor who is unloading a lot of lots right now across the tracks that have been sitting on the market for a while.
That's exactly.
Town sewer and water are available with these investor lots that he's ready to sell.
So what are we doing?
Good Lord, that's a tip right there, Jamie Turner. Give us some more knowledge, Jamie Turner, please. Bo Smith and I are looking at our phones right here.
Show's over.
Jamie Turner. Keep it coming, JT. Keep it coming.
Well, there was a parcel out there that I think you could put 30 or 40 units on that was in the town limits. But I didn't do enough research on it to really talk intelligently. So Jamie, thank you.
He grew up there.
Yeah. It's a great little setup out there. But for somebody looking to do like one-offs of onesies and twosies, it might not be a good opportunity. I'm going to dig into it a little bit more and see if somebody's interested to team up with us on it.
Well, and the very cool thing about this is Patch isn't open yet. Hartman's doing a distillery.
Yep.
Literally distillery. Jamie, what's the restaurant? Was it Stone Fire Kitchen? Is it Stonefire Kitchen, Jamie? I know that name might not be right. Hartman is taking over that spot.
Yep.
There's a boutique hotel coming across from the Ice House. I mean, dude, it's like...
So have you ever gone under the bridge there and take a hard look to the left? Somebody converted, it almost looks like it's out of Tuscany, converted a garage into, I think it's some sort of...
That's the restaurant.
Is that the one we're talking?
I think that's the one Hartman's taking over.
I'm going north on 15, just before I go underneath the trestle. The bridge to the left, there's a little building in there that was renovated years and years ago, and that may have been something Mr. Manning did. I can't remember, but it looks like it's something out of Tuscany. It's really beautiful.
I think we have that photo. Judah Wickhauer, do me a favor. Go to the Facebook message thread from yesterday with myself and Andre Xavier. He sent a photo of a restaurant that Craig Hartman posted on his Facebook page. And Craig essentially alluded to get ready for what's to come here. So Jamie Turner, we're going to show you this picture here in a matter of moments. Give us the name of this restaurant that Chef Hartman has taken over, if you could, please. It's in the Facebook thread with Andre. This question for you from JT. Yeah, it's the patio. But once Jamie sees the patio, he's going to know the restaurant. Jamie says, my wheels are turning. What about a modular? Would that be...
Well, that's where I was going with it.
He says, would that be an option due to the high material costs? And he wants some knowledge on modulars.
Yeah. So my personal house is a modular.
Okay.
My personal house is a 8-box custom modular. I built it in 2000. And the reason I built it in 2000 is we had this whole lumber price and labor issue is nothing new. It's cyclical. It happens. And we had the same situation back there. We were building 30, 40 homes a year, and we just didn't have enough labor to frame them to meet up with the sales goals. So I tried to actually do a custom modular. And if I ever took you into my house and I didn't tell you it was a modular, you would never know it was a modular. Usually the giveaway on the modular is one of the doorways are like 8 inches wide because it's where the boxes meet. The way I designed the house is you would not know that it was a modular. On that, worked out great. Built a 3,600 square foot house in 30 days.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it drove my wife nuts. I had a brain fart.
That photo's coming on screen, JT. It's coming on screen, Jamie Turner.
So I had a brain fart the Parade of Homes is in end of September, beginning of October.
Oh, and you signed up for it.
Like in July.
Yeah, and the house is not done.
No, I had nothing. Had a lot. We could do this, honey. And had a house designed, built, shipped, delivered, finished in less than 90 days.
Okay, here's a question for you. I want to learn.
But who was the gentleman that said
Jamie Turner.
Literally, Jamie. The person that I'm going to reach out to is our good friend Jesse Rutherford, who works, and somebody tag Jesse.
I'll tag Jesse Rutherford right now.
You know, he's in the modular business, and he's going to end up getting a conversation from me. But that's the way I would do it. You know, because you don't have to ramp up so much human resources, right? And but yeah, that's exactly the way I do it. But it's a little tricky to it. You got to know how to do it. You got to be able to get cranes on site, and there's overhead power lines may have to get moved. It's not as simple as, hey, come in here, drop something on there.
What is the most affordable single-family home to build? Type, specs? Because he developed a lot of Lake Monticello, for those that don't know.
Well, yeah, we built about 600 homes there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but all our stuff was for custom folks coming out of New York.
The damn Yankees.
Yeah. They came and stayed. A lot of.
What's the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee?
Damn Yankee stays.
You taught me that. Johnny Ornelas, welcome to the show, my friend.
I'm working on my speech, and I only got like 6 dad jokes. And somehow or another, I got to work in the 6 dad jokes into the speech. But
Johnny says, I've looked at that place. There was water and sewer for a restaurant use, but money will be need to dump in to fix that restaurant. Johnny, great call. Craig Hartman and his team are upgrading that restaurant now. Literally now.
There's a lot, if it's the building, I think it is.
Well, I can show it to you. Judah, if you get it back on screen and show it on the big screen for Keith so I can see it.
So, hey, Johnny, I owe you a phone call. I apologize. I've been trying to get my feet back underneath me from coming back on late Sunday night. So, Johnny, I'll call you later on today.
Okay, there you go.
That's what I love about this show.
I know, everybody's watching right now.
Can talk to my clients.
Yes,
my
everybody's
buddies,
watching
my
right
buddies.
now. Judah's going to show you this
Yeah,
here in a
cool.
matter of moments.
Cool.
Multiple folks are asking the most affordable home to build.
Yeah, so it's a tough question. If you talk to the production guys, they'll probably say, the old 4/4, right? So 2 stories, smaller footprint. The larger the footprint, the more expensive it is, right?
Is that the one you're referencing?
That is not the one I'm referencing.
That's the one that he's going to make some magic in, Hartman.
Yeah, cool. Well, maybe it is, and just looking at it from a different
That's
angle.
the side patio. Jamie, what was this previously called? Wasn't it like the Stonefire something? Isn't this what this was called? And Johnny says, Keith, we really need to talk about land available for future investment.
Yeah.
Please call me.
Yeah. That's the reason I got to call them, right? Because they're rocking and rolling, and I think they should be
You
setting.
can't hide when you're on the show, dude.
Yeah, no kidding. Duh. Stupid me.
No. You just got back from the islands. And your daughter's getting married.
Yeah, but I literally get 5 or 10 minutes into this, and I just think it's just me and you having a conversation. And not that I'm not thankful and grateful that everybody's watching, but I tend to forget these cameras real quickly.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So to go back.
Stonefire Kitchen. That's right. It was Stonefire Kitchen. Thank you, Jamie Turner.
Thank you, Jamie. So to go back to the cost of construction, smaller footprint, right? 2 stories. It's generally the most cost-effective. I don't want to use the word cheap because that's the wrong word.
Yeah, affordable.
It's the most cost-effective way to build. Personally, I prefer ranchers. I prefer it. It's interesting. We have multiple clients that we're trying to find homes for with master bedrooms on the main level, and it's an interesting mix. Some of them are kind of our age, my age, I should say, not our age, but my age, and some of them are your age, which is interesting. And I don't understand why there isn't more master bedrooms on the first floors built, and it's partly because it's more expensive, right? The larger
Is that true?
Yeah, the larger the footprint you get on it, so generally the most expensive subcontractor has been my experience anyway. Well, this is pre-lumber going through the roof. It's generally your excavation component. By dollar value, your excavation component of that, that's your foundation. You're bringing water and sewer to the home, clearing the lots, final grade, landscaping. That whole the whole excavation foundation package is generally pretty darn close to about a third, if not more than a third, of the total construction costs. And it's generally 1 or 2 subcontractors at that particular point, and then you get into your framing, and then your mechanicals are usually that. But the wider the footprint, the more expensive it is.
Stonefire Kitchen. Jamie Turner, you're making the show better. He's so the agent James Friend Dickerson.
Oh yeah.
In February of 2016.
He's a rock star, by the way.
February 2016. He had the listing for the Stonefire Station, the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And in 16, and I'm looking at the website now, thanks to JT sending me the link on the feed. And in 2016, Stonefire Station was priced to sell at $749,797.
Mm-hmm.
$749,797. I'm curious to know if Craig and Company bought this. I'm sure they did, because that's how they like to roll.
You can look on
the GIS.
The GIS, or somebody can look at the GIS and figure that out pretty
easily.
Pretty easily.
Johnny says, I'm sure they will make it work and will love to see something finally work there.
So let's just talk about this for a second. So we have a pretty short stretch of road, right? From my perspective, the beginning of Gordonsville pretty much starts right around the Barbecue Exchange and ends the main street and ends at the roundabout at the back end. Right? So let's see. We've got Barbecue Exchange.
Yeah.
We got Well Hung.
Yeah.
We've got Ice House.
Yeah.
Soon to have the
Patch.
Patch. Isn't it a little further?
It's a little further. It's more toward the Keswick side.
More towards
but still Gordonsville.
Still Gordonsville. And I believe there's and I can't remember the name, but I believe along the storefronts, there's a restaurant that used to be there. It was a French restaurant. I believe there's another one. So I believe there's somewhere between 6 to 8 off the top of my head that I can think of places to go to eat. These are
Before the other ones open.
for them.
Yeah.
These are destination places,
And
right?
did you hear what Andre said?
No, I did not.
That and Christelle is watching. Christelle, we love when you watch the program. She's the director of catering at C&O Restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And she says it was the Stone-Fired Kitchen. It was a rental location for festive fair rentals at one time.
Oh.
So we're getting the knowledge from the feed here. I love
Well,
when you guys make us smaller, smarter.
I have to give a shout out to CNO.
C&O's the bomb.
Because now that the governor, I haven't quite got the word yet, but now since the governor has basically lifted all restrictions.
All restrictions are lifted.
So the Thomas Jefferson Planning District Commission is now going to go to in-person meetings.
Ooh.
And one of the things we used to do
Was the bar at C&O?
after the meeting,
Okay. That's a great bar.
we would literally,
Super intimate.
you know, when the meeting was over, we'd wander down at the bar at the local level, get a cocktail, and I'm looking forward to get back to that. My wife actually built the Thule Kiwi soapstone stove in the CNO.
Really?
She built it. Yeah.
Jonas Smith? Jonas Smith? Jonas Smith?
She's a rock and roll.
Oh, you're better 7/8.
And I say it for a reason.
I know you do. I know you do.
It's funny. We were. Everybody loves her. I mean,
She's lovable.
Everybody loves her. Me, yeah, not so much.
People love you too.
Yeah,
Stop. So Andre said this on the show, on the I Love Seville show. He said, with Keswick Vineyards, Castle Hill, there's, what's the other vineyard, Andre? Is it Mary Met Vineyard that just opened? Is it Mary Met? I might be messing that name up, but it just opened. And interestingly, Mary Met is right across from Paul Manning's farm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Literally across from his farm. So, and now you have Patch.
Mm-hmm.
You got a trail.
Well,
You got a hop-on trail.
there's a gentleman that really is really good at this in this hop on.
Well Hung is another one.
Well hung, yeah, sure. But you're 100% right. So it's become this little mecca, and maybe a little bit like.
Chriselle says, "Thank you for the props, Keith."
Oh yeah, I can't wait until it's done. I won't mention names because they're all elected officials. But when the meeting's over, we will go get a
Go to the CNO.
We get a cocktail. But not there's anything wrong with that,
No,
right?
well, there's nothing wrong with that. You worked.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we get a little something to eat, and then the wife sends me a text. Is the
Come
meeting
home.
Is the meeting over yet? Ah.
It ran a little long. We're still
No.
Patch at this. No, I know.
No,
I know.
no. They always know.
I know they do.
They
I
always
figured that
know.
out. The longer I spend with my beautiful better half, my beautiful 7/8.
There you go.
I realize it's just easier to tell the truth and take the heat if you're going to take the heat.
Yeah.
Than
Well,
go into the gray area.
well, you've got nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
So just tell the truth. Yeah.
Finish your thought.
Yeah. So it's interesting because we were asked the question. I was asked the question the other day. Well, actually, I was asked the question last night. So how come this doesn't happen in Palmyra? Palmyra is a cute little town. It's short, and I don't have an answer to that. Right? It's close to 53. But why does one area grow a little bit more than another? It's an interesting question. I didn't have an answer to it, but it just made me go, that's something to think a little bit about. Why? Because in reality, it's just up the road a little bit on it. So why is one taking off and the other isn't?
That's a good question.
I don't have an answer to it. If somebody can answer it, that would be great. But
Okay, so why don't we put this in the feed? Christelle, you live at the lake. Jamie, you live in Orange. Why do we think Gordonsville has taken off and Palmyra, which is primed to take off,
it's never worked.
does not have the momentum or tailwinds of Gordonsville? Genuine question. That's a great question.
Yeah, and it's not, from a jurisdictional perspective, the folks over in Havana would love to have that come out there, and there's water and sewer there, there's high-speed internet there, there's a grocery there. E.W. Thomas is there. They built a gorgeous roundabout here, brand new bridge across the river. You have kayaking. You have a 1,000-acre public park, which very few jurisdictions say they can have.
Right.
With some, 30, 40 miles of biking trails, hiking
Was that an
trails.
allusion to Biscuit Run?
Excuse me?
Was that an allusion to Biscuit Run there?
No. Pleasant Grove.
Okay.
It's right up over there in Palmyra. It has 1,000-acre parcel out there that it's beautifully done. And some folks tried to open up a couple of restaurants. It's just never.
Riverside.
It's just never.
That was one.
Correct, and it just never took off, and I just don't understand why. I think a lot of it has to do with the traffic pattern. Also, I think a lot of it has to do, with Mr. Manning kind of getting in here. But it's a major traffic thoroughfare, right? It's also a business, trucking thoroughfare. They don't come through the town. There's a business loop that you have to go around to go in there.
JT says, Restaurant Rochambeau.
That's it. Man,
isn't this amazing? I know.
I tell you what.
He has more for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Restaurant Rochambeau. Can't wait till they open back up.
That's right.
Fantastic French restaurant right on Main Street. I saw Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson there a few times.
Yeah.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a farm in Orange County.
He does. And we've eaten there several years ago. Not that it's the same thing as The Rock, but we ate there a couple of years ago.
The star of Real Talk,
Rock.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
It's kind of.
The star of Real Talk, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Kind of the same.
Can you flex for the camera? Come on, flex for the camera.
No. That's just flat out embarrassing. I'm not going to do that.
That dude can do. That dude seems to have the Midas touch. Does he not?
He sure does. So hopefully we've inspired some people to wander down in there. It's the right thing. A part of me kind of said maybe we should have kept our mouth shut about the lots and the thing, but that's what we do.
Right.
We give information out. I think
one of the things I've realized about entrepreneurship, and it took me a while to realize this, that the idea is such a small part of it. It's the execution of the idea. Like, I used to be in the beginning, when I was launching this, I'd be like, I'm not going to tell anybody. Should I tell my wife? She might be telling the ladies and the moms and all that. But now what I do is...
Exactly how you did it. Like that.
Don't tell anybody. But now, you know what I do? Rod Burnell, welcome to the broadcast. Your daughter Samantha's doing big-time things at Notre Dame. Now I tell folks the ideas.
Squirrel.
Yeah, I tell everybody the idea.
Yeah.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
Because I get the feedback.
Yeah.
You get the feedback.
Totally. I said this all the time. Actually, the hard thing is to come up with the idea.
You think? The execution for me is the hard part.
Well, execution is always the hard part on anything, right? But to have the vision, very few, vision is a hard thing. That's part of why I went away for 2 weeks. To be totally honest with you, as you know, because you work with your wife, but Yona and I work together every day for 35 years. We celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. And for those who know Yona, say you're sorry. And the reality of it is we get to the point because we're working gazillion hours as you do, and I love you, but at the moment I don't like you, and so we need.
You're talking about Yona here, not me.
That's it. I do love you, and I do like you.
Okay.
But
just want to clarify that, guys.
It was my wife I was talking about. So the reality of it is, we go to reconnect, and we go to get some of our vision together, and how because people rely on us, right? So what's our next 12, 24 months? What are we going to do together on Real Talk for the next 12, 24 months? So it's important to get out there and recharge your batteries. And we're blessed enough to be able to do it.
So we got multiple people discussing why Gordonsville's taken off over Palmyra, including folks listening in their vehicles on Spotify. We love that you listen to the show.
And I'm not knocking Palmyra because I love it. I'm a Fulvana, been in Fulvana for 1987. It was a question that was asked to me that I went, I don't have an answer to that.
So this is coming in from Steven. Jerry, I'm listening to you guys on Spotify right now. I think the difference between Gordonsville and Palmyra is Craig Hartman. When he built the Barbecue Exchange, he made Gordonsville a destination for not just us in Orange, but for all of us in Central Virginia. Then folks started realizing how close this was to Charlottesville. Christelle says, that is a hard question, Keith. I don't want to say it's because of the lake, but it may be part of the problem. When we moved to the Lake Monticello, we came here for the water and the cost of living. We also knew that it would be Zion that would boom because of the proximity to the highway.
Yeah.
Gordonsville is right in line with that because that is primarily the route that truckers take. Honestly, I'm happy that it has stayed quiet out here in Fluvanna and do not mind the travel to get to some good eats and shopping. Christelle.
Yeah, so
More coming in on your question.
to pick that apart, you're 100% right. That's the reason I've been heavy on Zion's Crossroads. So you're going to see some more substantial growth and development in the Zion's Crossroads here in the very near future, and that's 0 to 5 years, right? Out there, water will be fixed. It's there already. Sewer's already there already in Zion's Crossroads. This thing with the JRWA, with the James Water River Authority, is eventually going to get fixed. From my conversations, they're projecting the next 12 to 24 months we'll dump 400,000 gallons of water a day. That's a huge amount of money. Put that in perspective. Lake Monticello, which is, let's call it built out, 4,500 houses, uses 500,000 gallons a day.
Get out.
So if they're going to be bringing 400,000, not that it's all going to be residential and all this kind of great stuff.
That's a great stat.
But just to put it in perspective, roughly, it's the size of Lake Monticello as far as usage of water, and would end up being around. So that's what's going to happen. You'll see that growth will go over there, and Palmyra will just stay a little sleepy little village. I just love Palmyra. We go up there all the time to go out underneath the bridge, and there's some great sandy beaches there on the Ravenna. It's just amazing place to be.
JT says, I think Gordonsville took off after Craig Hartman. So he echoes Stephen Hartman. He echoes Stephen. I think Gordonsville took off after Craig Hartman and the BBQ Exchange. That attraction led to so much traffic. Also, PBM products attracted employees from all over Central Virginia. I'm not sure of any similar attractions or employer opportunities in Fluvanna. No. He adds, also Main Street in Gordonsville booms on the weekends. I'm not sure if Fluvanna has walkable Main Street like Gordonsville does.
It does, but it's a little smaller, actually. It's a cute little, it's got a wonderful historic courthouse, a cute little park. It's tiny. I mean, it's a fraction of the size, but it's a cute little, you should go, if you
I had to go there for a speeding ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was driving to go see
so did I, by the way.
Inhuman Schumann, John Schumann at Fort Union Military Academy, my buddy, Coach Fletcher Arrett,
sure.
and Dan Thompson at FUMA, speeding a little fast because I was running a little late. And that's where I had to go to court.
It's almost as bad as somebody who helped build a roundabout and gets a speeding ticket going into the roundabout.
What's that, 15 to FUMA?
15, yeah.
Okay. Going down 15, try to be there by 7:30. In fact, we were recording talk shows then.
Yeah.
They were syndicated on, I think, 11 affiliates. Dan Thompson made that happen.
Good for you, man.
And the officer was going the other way. Yeah. Very quickly. Very quickly.
You made his day.
Very quickly.
Did you go to the judge and say, forgive me, Father, I have sinned, or did you try to fight the ticket?
I tried to fight the ticket. Yeah, it didn't work.
I
asked for the calibration and then begged for forgiveness, and he's like, "No, this is how we generate some revenue."
You went. This is Fluvanna County. You went the wrong approach.
Yeah. What was the approach I should have taken?
Beg for forgiveness. Mea culpa, maxima culpa.
And does that work?
A little bit.
Because that's a revenue source.
Yeah.
Jamie, when my parents came to visit their son at Woodbury, they made sure they stopped in Gordonsville to visit the shops and Barbecue Exchange.
Yeah, so Barbecue Exchange is a great. That's so. I think what we're saying is the big difference is there was not these initial entrepreneurial anchors that come in, and which started with Mr. Manning, right? And then
what's his tie to that?
Well, that's where his company.
Well, I know that, but what's his tie to?
Yeah, I wouldn't know the answer to that. I just know that's where he started.
I know that's where PBM was.
Yeah.
I'm just curious of how he
got there.
Got there.
I don't know the answer to that. That would be a great question for Mr. Henry when we get him in.
Yeah.
But all I know is it did, and it turned around because I've been traveling through that town since '87, going up north all the time, and you just saw it started changing. Just started going from, when they started renovating for PBM and where we're at now. So it's become this little trail, I think an entrepreneurial spirit.
Dude, wait until Seville Hop on Tours they have 18 buses under ownership now. Literally 18.
That dude just amazes
me, right? He's a serial entrepreneur. They have 18 buses.
I thought you and I put a lot of hours and work in. Every time I turn around, this dude is doing something.
And he's got a hell of a partner in John Craig. We should not underestimate John Craig.
Sure.
Wait until he starts sending 6 buses down that route. And each of those buses have like, I don't know, how many people in each bus, Andre, if you're watching? Let us know how many people.
What
like
I'm
6
concerned
buses on
about
the route?
is the labor shortage for him, though.
He seems to have that figured out.
Does he? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's probably paying them super
He
well.
pays them well.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
You know.
It's amazing how people get to work when you pay them well.
You know, it's my grandmother used to say, take care of the guys, pay them well, they'll do well for you. You know, the old saying, you make money, I make money. If people make money, they'll make money for you, and they're happy.
He thinks, gosh, so Jamie's made this show better.
Yeah.
He says, my mom worked for Paul.
Really? Wow.
He says, I believe it was the taxes, but I'm going to ask my mom now.
Yeah, I have too much respect for Chris Henry and Mr. Manning to take a guess at it, so I would never do that.
The show is hot.
Yeah, this is why I love. This is why I love the. Friday's going to be a great show. We're going to talk about what we probably should talk about a little bit on the back
Democratic primary.
Democratic primary. Kind of go a little bit in our crystal ball kind of stuff and see if
your
see
crystal
if we're
ball is saying similar to my crystal ball, right? You're saying Pinkston.
No,
Wade.
Well,
You see Brown and Wade. I mean, I think we both agree on Wade out of the primary.
without a doubt.
Lock, right?
Without a doubt.
Okay. So the 2 spot is more of a toss-up.
Yeah, and I think I follow your logic with Pinkston, and I think
the name recognition.
Yeah,
been there,
I
done
follow
that.
that logic, but
Carl Brown's a lifer in Charlottesville.
Yeah, and you can't underestimate that, right?
Sure.
I wouldn't bet against that, but that second spot, I think is
the other thing I'm basing it on is the fundraising dollars.
Yeah,
$50K plus for Pinkston.
Yeah, not so much.
I think let's be conservative, under 1,000 for Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
So we're talking a 50x difference here.
Yeah, well, and it's not all about the money.
It's not all about the money.
It's not about the money. We've seen races before that, money doesn't necessarily, particularly, we talked about this a couple days ago, or a couple of shows ago, and I think you mentioned to it prior to me coming in yesterday. All politics are local.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I learn firsthand, also learn from you.
Well,
the most important politics are local politics.
Without a doubt.
The most impactful politics are local politics.
What impacts you the most is local politics. The state and federal stuff is
that's going to impact you. Just
nothing like the local politics. That's why people should be involved at the local politics.
And that's why it's so disheartening. The turnout for this race is going to be like 35-40%.
Well, we talked about this yesterday.
The numbers.
The math is. This is going to be an interesting race, and I agree with the end result. I think the end result will be the mayor being reelected
because of the value of being an incumbent.
Correct.
Okay.
And Mr.
Does that frustrate you, or is it? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay.
That's the beauty of the process, right? And I've spent a half a decade living under communism to understand what the alternative is, right? So it's the beauty of the process, right? But it's going to be interesting because this is going to come down to a math problem. And I was trying to figure out this morning how to explain that. We were talked about it yesterday. But if there's like 100 votes.
Yeah, let's go over this.
Right. If there's 100 votes, and if Neil's watching, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. So the top 2 vote takers gets the 2 spots, right?
Yeah.
So if there's 100 votes, and let's assume the first 2 get 26 and 26, then they're in. So the problem is the other 2 can skew that math a little bit on you on that end of it. So if there's only 3, it makes the bar that much higher to hit. You've got to get better voter turnout. You've got to get more folks to vote for you to go and get on the spot. So if there's only 3, then it's 34 votes, right? If we're working with 100, right? That's the floor, for lack of a better term. So it's hard. You have to get 34 votes to come in here versus 26 votes. And that may not sound like a lot, but elections like this, if you take a look at what happened the last time, they're won by hundreds of votes. They're not won by thousands and thousands and thousands of votes. So it's interesting how the math is going to skew out on that end of it. I'm going to follow it.
Well, another wrinkle that you didn't touch on was the single shot strategy.
Yeah, but that's kind of our only option at this point, right? Referring to the mayor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's what she's saying.
Yeah. Vote for me and vote for nobody else.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason I'm telling you the math is going to be screwy, right? So it's just going to be interesting. But with all due respect.
Well, how do you feel about that strategy?
Well, with all due respect to the mayor, to everybody, that's what you want anyway. I've ran for office before. You're doing it. You want people to vote for you, not for somebody else. So, it's kind of logical to me, right?
So you're basically saying it's like someone who announces way early to try to corner the market and keep other competition from getting in the mix.
We'll not talk about this on there.
That's what you're basically. I get it. It's about winning within the rules.
Yeah, of course.
It's about winning within the rules.
But my point I'm trying to make is of course the mayor wants everybody to vote for her. You want everybody to vote for you. I wanted everybody to vote for me. They just didn't do it because I was a Yankee. But, and had a funny accent.
So to Keith's point, and the dude makes a lot of great points, and that's why you guys watch the show. I got the results for the 2019 Charlottesville City Council race.
Thank you for doing that.
Sina McGill. So interestingly, in the Democratic primary, Michael Payne in 2019 came out number 1. Brian Pinkston did not get out of the Democratic primary in 2019.
Correct.
But in the general election, Sina McGill, Councilor McGill,
got the most votes.
Won the general. Sina McGill got 8,438 votes in 2019.
Correct.
That was
the percentage?
25.96%.
Yeah.
This is all guys on the Virginia elections website. You do a basic Google search and you can find this. Michael Payne was 2.
How much?
7,833 votes. So the difference between, Lloyd Snook was 2. Lloyd Snook was 2 with 8,151.
But what was the percentage?
25.08.
Yeah.
The difference, Smith, between, this is your point here.
Yeah,
you made the point right. The difference between McGill and Snook in 2019 was less than 300 votes.
That's exactly right.
So that shows you every vote counts.
That's exactly right.
Michael Payne came in the 3rd slot with 7,833 votes. That means the difference between first place Sina McGill in 2019 and 3rd place Michael Payne was roughly, I got to do some quick math right here, less than 600 votes.
Get Liza the dog.
Listen, she could do it better than I could. Less than 600 votes for 1st and 3rd.
That's exactly.
And the really terrifying aspect of all this.
What was the next 2, right?
The Marine.
Yeah.
Bellamy Brown.
Yeah.
Was 4th. He ran as an independent.
That's exactly right.
And had Bellamy Brown had run as a Democrat, perhaps the results were different. Mr. Bellamy Brown, who we love on the I Love Seville network.
Semper Fi, Marine.
Yep, we love that guy. 5,751 votes. So the difference
give
between...
me the percentage on
Bellamy Brown, 17.7.
So just think about that. It was only percentage differences. It was 17 and what was Sina's?
Sina's was 25.96. The closest one is Sina, 25.96, first. 3rd place, Michael Payne, 24.1. We're talking a difference of 1.8%,
so
first and 3rd.
So take names out of it, right? We have 4 spots.
Yeah.
If the 4th spot, which was wasn't in the race, then everybody else has to get more votes, more votes on it. It makes it harder to make the math work.
And he also had John Hall, who had 838 votes.
Forgot about
Paul Long, who had 1,256 votes. So the Hall, Long, and Brown.
So if the 6th slot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 people in it.
So if the 6 slots vote went to Bellamy, and everybody else stayed the same.
If John Hall's votes, 838, went to Bellamy, Bellamy's on the dais right now.
That's exactly right.
And that's your point.
That's the point. So look, more is always better. We have we'll talk about this in future shows because we're going to do some stuff, but there's a couple of elections that are coming on in the surrounding jurisdictions that they're uncontested. I believe an uncontested election is not in it's
everybody's
best interest.
And there's 3 in this year's Board of Supervisor race that are uncontested.
In Albemarle County.
Albemarle County.
Right.
You got Samuel Miller. Mm-hmm. You got Supervisor Diantha McKeel, and your buddy
Ned
Galloway.
So On a personal note, I love every one of those folks. They're
Right.
great to work with, and I'm very happy to hear that they're going to continue to work with it because we've been working together so hard with that team to make affordable housing work. So I'm excited that we're going to be able to continue. So my statement is more general, right? That, competition is always a good thing.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
It raises everybody's
In
bar.
anything.
But you'll find out when we start talking about this, we'll talk about a little bit on Friday, the other jurisdictions also have substantially uncontested races at this particular point. So the only real super contested race is going to be the city of Charlottesville.
Yeah.
There's going to be a couple of spots that are contested, but not the volume of 4
Right.
or 6 like it was in
Well, this one will be 4.
Yeah, correct.
Yaz, Washington, Nakia Walker, and the 2 that come out of the Democratic primary today. I got a question for you. Why is there so much more engagement and interest to get on the dais in the city of Charlottesville than the other municipalities in Central Virginia?
Man, that's a great question.
To put it in perspective, Albemarle County, the 6 Board of Supervisors manage a $400+ million budget, as you know.
Yeah.
City of Charlottesville, the 5 councilors manage a $200+ budget. So the county's budget is 2x plus more than the city's. Yet the county's got 3 spots that are coming up for re-election now, and there's no competition for those 3 spots. It's only one person.
Yeah, I wish I knew the answer to that question, right? It's a great question. It's a great question to ask.
And why does the city council get way more attention than, say, the Board of Supervisors?
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think off on my feet, but it's like one little entity that is getting all the attention, and then a larger entity isn't, and I don't quite understand it why. I think a lot of it is it's.
Charlottesville's 10.2 square miles. Albemarle County engulfs that.
Yeah.
It swallows that.
Yeah, 50,000 versus 150,000 folks. And, I don't know, to be honest with you. It just seems like a little lopsided because, at the end of the day, the first 10-ton elephant in the room is UVA.
Right.
The 5-ton element in the room is Albemarle County. Right.
And then the 2.5-ton element is the city of Charlottesville.
Yeah, I don't even think it's that as far as size goes. But it's city of Charlottesville. That's what we talk about. You call this the I Love Charlottesville Network. You don't call it the I Love Albemarle County.
Okay, touche. That was good, my friend. That was very good.
Right. It took a little while for the coffee to kick in, but so
well played, Keith.
We're part of the problem, right?
Yeah, well played.
But it's Charlottesville. It's a historical thing. But
how about this stat for you?
If we change it to I Love Albemarle, it doesn't kind of run off the tongue.
Well, and interestingly, and we own I Love Albemarle.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I own I Love Albemarle. In fact, most of the municipalities I own.
You think I should know that?
I do. Charlottesville, here's a good stat for you. Charlottesville, 10.2 square miles, as you know.
Yep.
You want to venture Albemarle County size? Venture to guess?
No, I should know this. Oh.
In the I hear you're on the...
Yeah. The answer is I know it, but I don't remember it right now.
It's 726 square miles. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So 10.2 square miles, Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Albemarle County, 726 square miles.
Sure.
Population, Albemarle County, you were really close.
About 150, isn't it?
As of 2019, 109,330.
Okay.
That number's probably gone up because of COVID. 109,330. Charlottesville.
I wasn't close, but
Charlottesville's what? 50K?
It's my understanding is 50, but
I'll take a look at that.
Yeah. So I don't have the answer to that. It's interesting, but I think it is what it is, right? Everybody talks about,
In 2019, 47,096.
Yeah.
So you're talking over 2x the population size,
Sure.
Albemarle versus Charlottesville. And you're talking, someone do that math, 726 square miles versus 10.2 square miles.
Sure. And we talk about Charlottesville.
And we talk about Charlottesville.
But
it might also be the personalities.
It could be, but it's always been. Since 1987. Somebody asked me the question the other day. It was actually in the Caribbean. Where are you from? I say Charlottesville. Well, technically,
You're from Havana.
I'm from Havana.
Yeah.
But I say Charlottesville because people know Charlottesville.
I've said Albemarle County, they're like, huh? Who? Where? Is that North Carolina? Then I say Charlottesville, they're like, oh.
Yeah, so I usually follow it up Charlottesville when there's a blank stare, UVA, oh.
Yeah.
And then they kind of put two together. But there's, it's funny. How are we doing?
We're doing great.
Okay.
Yeah, but you do have a wedding to plan for.
Yeah, something. No, I have orders.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay. His beautiful daughter getting married on Saturday for those that are just tuning in.
But it's funny. I'm going to throw something out and see where it goes and see if it sticks. But when we were doing our remote work vacation, because that's what we were doing, we have a friend of ours that owns a 80-foot. He takes people out on the day on a catamaran. Right, you pay a couple $100 and you take people out. And there was 12 couples on there that they were between 20 and 30, and then 2 old people, Yona and I. And so the standard. When you bump into somebody down there, if I bump into you and your wife, it's normally the questions are where you're staying on the island, is this your first visit, where you're from, right? And then at some point you ask, so what do you do, right? So these were all nurses, teachers, one of them was a bus driver, fireman. It was these all different jurisdictions. As soon as we went out and said, well, we're real estate agents,
Stop the presses.
Literally.
Yeah.
So it was funny. It was like, because we were just chatting around, well, should I buy? This is a hot market. I shouldn't buy right now. What should I do? Should I sell? Should I buy? And I was like, okay, and it's right up my alley.
Yeah, you love it. You secretly love it.
Yeah. Not I secretly.
You do
love it.
But make the comparison you made to the was it the proctologist?
So one of them was a proctologist, right? I didn't know if I wanted me to go there, but one of them was a proctologist. So we're talking and we're doing and blah 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 la la la, and should I buy investment property? What should I do? And I've said, of course, you have to watch Real Talk.
Yeah.
And I said, Doc, not for nothing. I don't walk up to you and say, I got a little problem, and whatever. Nobody does that, but it's okay to ask a real estate agent.
You remember the Seinfeld episode?
Oh yeah.
Was it the proctologist?
I think it was the proctologist.
Where if you're at a cocktail party, right, the best person you want to be next to is the proctologist.
Because nobody's going to talk that.
He had the best stories.
Yeah.
And I think Fusilli Jerry went up where the sun don't shine. Was it that episode? Fusilli Jerry, the little pasta Jerry?
Oh, God.
That's that one of the guys sat on?
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Sorry. It's been so many years since I watched that show.
I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
And then how about the license plate? Remember the license plate? Ass Man.
Ass Man.
Remember that one?
Yeah. I can't get past the puffy pirate shirt.
Oh, the puffy pirate shirt was great. I love the puffy pirate shirt.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So we held a class on a boat, with rum and food, and
you were in your element.
I was in my element. Yeah, we had actually a lot of fun. Even so much the captain, which was a friend of ours, a Frenchman. He says, "Is anybody going to go snorkel?" No. We're okay. Nobody would go snorkel. So, we gave a class. It was a lot of fun. But I said, watch Real Talk, and hats off to the I Love Charlottesville network and what we do. I bumped into people from California that, in the conversation, I go, yeah, I've seen that.
These are friends of yours?
No, these are people I just bumped in on the beach.
No.
I swear to God.
Wow.
I swear to God.
Very nice. So let me ask you this question. Can a Central Virginia successful realtor like yourself sell worldwide or countrywide?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're part of we're part of a network that can do that.
How's that work?
Oh, it's actually pretty simple. We actually doing 2 deals right now from people we met down there. All we do is it's all about relationships, not transactions. So what we'll do is we'll connect, find out where they are, what they want to do, so forth and so on. We're doing 2 out in California right now, and then we reach out to our network and we phone interview a couple of agents that are in our network. Now, in order to be in it, you have to have so many years, so many sales. Oh, you're smiling.
Christopher Eagles wants to chime in on the Seinfeld discussion.
Yeah, well, that would be. Want me to finish this?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I was just smiling, and then you got silent. I was just smiling.
See, so for people who don't know, I don't see what he's looking at.
Right, I know.
And so when he starts smiling, I get a little nervous. So what we do is we phone interview the realtor on the other side and make sure there's a good fit in it, and if there's a good fit, we make the connection, and then we basically oversee everything from. So we just did one from sight unseen from Manila, Philippines.
Get out.
By a townhome here in Charlottesville, a condo actually here in Charlottesville, sight unseen through the network. We did a phone interview, and and we were able to process that. Okay, Seinfeld.
George Costanza's father, Jerry Stiller, sat on
That's right.
Facility Jerry.
I remember it.
Oh, Elaine Dancing is Christopher Eagle's personal favorite.
Yeah.
I love Elaine Dancing. With the thumbs out. Elaine Bennis Dancing. Yeah, I love Elaine Bennis Dancing. That was a great one.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
So, Friday?
Yeah, tell us.
We're going to talk a little bit about the results from today, and
with two insiders,
with two super brains on this, and a little bit about what's going on. So if you're interested in, as we just said, all politics are local, and local politics really impact us, from the ground up here. This is going to be a great show. We're also going to talk a little bit about UVA's dipping its toe into the affordable housing world, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We didn't get to that the last time that we had the gentleman on the round table, but I'm looking forward to it. It's they always walk away from those conversations way smarter than I walked in.
That's Friday.
It's a rule I always have. If you think you're the smartest person in the room, find a new room. In my case, there's a lot of rooms I got to move around.
Oh, stop it. I don't like when you do that. So, my friend, the wedding.
Yeah.
Close on that?
I got to get out of here in a few minutes to go make sure that I didn't put on too much weight when we were away, and the suit fits me, and go through my marching orders that are flying in as I'm sitting here on the show watching them on that. So we'll have to see how that comes along. But we're excited about it. You and your family and Judah and Liza are invited on. Come out and get some tacos on Sunday.
Fantastic. My friend, I thoroughly enjoy this.
It's a lot of fun. I wish we could go on longer, but I do.
You're busy.
I do need to.
Absolutely. We will see him Friday on Real Talk. Neil Williamson and Sean Tubbs in the house as well. It's going to be a good one. We recap the election. We talk UVA and affordable housing and anything that comes up on the feed. So
I hope this explanation of this math thing worked out okay. I was thinking about that early this morning just to see. I
thought it worked, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would say otherwise.
Yeah, I don't. It's a hard thing to explain without any visuals, but I think what you did a great thing to go ahead.
Google search.
The Google search.
Yeah. Well, guys, Yes Realty Partners and Yes Team Realtors. Yes Realty Partners and Yes Team Realtors. Trusted names in the game. You see what this man is about. Character, honesty, integrity, and working hard for you. The man will go to the wall and back, and so will his beautiful better half, Jonas Smith. They are the team to work alongside.
Dad, shut up and get to work. I literally just got that.
I think I got the text, too. Get him off the air.
Get him off the air.
He's got wedding stuff to do.
I got wedding stuff to do.
All right, we're out of here, guys. Thank you for joining us. I Love Seville show in
who you having
61
on?
minutes. Alex Erpy, and he just sent me this text. Did you see, Alex Erpy, I love when you send me texts. He said, did you see the first Alzheimer's drug in 20 years approved by the FDA?
Ooh.
The rationale behind it is game changer in terms of biotech strategy. So today on the I Love Seville show with Alex Erpy, we're going to be talking about the first Alzheimer's drug in 20 years approved by the FDA. That's big time.
Ooh, I wish I could listen to that. I'm going to have to replay that one.
Yeah.
I'll be doing stuff.
Emergent Financial Services CEO Alex Erpy on the show.
Smart dude.
Yeah, smart dude. You guys have a good morning. Take care.
Literally, my phone is blowing up.
Wait till you see the baseball. Blowing up.
Really? Cool.